Hello, what's going on? Welcome to the AQ Worlds News. We have some very interesting things to talk about. Some returning classes, potentially. We'll talk about that more. And some other Nullcast stuff, of course. Miltonius coming back with a set and more sets, actually. So, yeah, let's go over everything that's new this week. Alright, we got a big dev blog this week for AQ Worlds. Kind of rare that something like this happens. Maybe a couple times a year we'll actually get something like this. So this is a year in review for 2024. But there is a bunch of new information in here and some hints at what's going to come for the future. So let's stick through this. I'm not going to read the whole thing here, don't worry. But we'll go through the pinpoints of what you probably want to know from this whole dev blog. All right, so this does go over new classes and stuff, but there is other information in here. So the first little bit here is about challenge bosses. So it says we've slowed down significantly on new insignia bosses for several reasons. First, the project has achieved the original goal, which was to offer players with less time to play, but were still willing to put in effort, a way to keep up with hardcore farmers, giving them another way to obtain endgame gear. Which I think is just code for like adding an option that isn't available to bot to the is what I read from that. But anyway. Alright, secondly, we've practically run out of unique boost gear to give to insignia bosses as rewards. We don't want you all to feel like your time fighting these bosses is worth less. Additionally, a host of daily and weekly bosses are already available now, and adding more might spread players thinly throughout them. Yeah, that's really valid. I don't think the unique boost gear is taking people away from doing new bosses, but I do think that it is a very valid point that they're going to have them more thinly spread out. Although, I think the main reason anyone's doing any of the older Ultra bosses at this point is just for the gold. So most people tell me. I don't do them myself, but most people are logging in mainly to get the gold from that, and that's it. And the need for gold isn't really that high at the moment for any of the content they've added recently, so I can't even see people doing that for the old bosses. So you're probably going to get thinner and thinner on the population of players doing the older Ultra bosses in the game as time goes on. So yeah, they might actually have to add new rewards to those bosses to get people to go back and do them. Maybe at some point. Might not be a bad idea. I don't think it has to be boosted, but I think even maybe putting a cosmetic or two, like a couple helmets, maybe an armor or two once in a while on some of those little bosses might get populations of people back in the fighting. That's, yeah, my 2 cents on that. Next paragraph says, to combat both of these, we'd like to look into adding a few updates to improve the existing bossing experience and to keep progressing players, populating few but more important bosses instead of adding in too many new bosses. With that being said, however, we don't have any plans to stop creating either type of boss. So they're still going to be making new ones, but they want to find ways of populating the old ones at the same time. So we'll see how that works. And the next thing up here is they do a paragraph about the new classes that they released, and they talk about the scaled up classes. So Sovereigns of Storm is a scaled up version of Darkblood Storm King, and they said that after releasing Sovereign of Storms, the common feedback we got was that many of you seemed to like the idea of scaling up early game classes, but in the case of Sovereign of Storms, some of you expected the class to be a lot more powerful. And that players who are able to defeat Queen Iona would already be strong enough to the point where Sovereigns of Storms wouldn't be all that beneficial to them. That's something that it might have come across a thought process. Maybe, let's have a, okay, anyway, that's like peak AQ Worlds design right there. You needed to defeat a hard boss that requires a better class. As the reward for defeating that hard boss that requires a good class, you get a worse class than what is required to defeat the boss. So it's very on brand for AQ Worlds. In the future, we'd like to reevaluate how the Sovereigns of Storm is obtained so that players who obtain it make more use out of it. Okay, that's good, I guess. They're going to make it a lot easier, I guess. And so they're taking what should have been an endgame class and turning it into like a medium game class, which there isn't really a medium game in AQ Worlds, but yeah. They also say that they want to scale up more classes in the future, and they ask for any suggestions. So there's that. I could give a few suggestions, I'm sure. Let me know in the comments which ones you guys want to see. There's probably a few that you have in mind. Okay, the post goes into the future of the game, which is probably the most important part. I might have even be able to skip over the other stuff, but I feel like there's good context in the above stuff, and there's more that I didn't even talk about in this video up there. If you want to read it, I'll link it down below. All right, so endgame farms. Many of you have expressed frustration regarding the amount and length of late and endgame farms that were released this year. Going forward, we'd like to cut back on farming times, whether this is through shorter farms in general or daily quests, while still allowing those who want to farm as much as they want to continue doing so, or other methods. Okay. However, and they've said this in the past too, and they've been trending to, the farms aren't as bad as they were at one point in AQ Worlds, like new ones, but they're still yeah. However, this might have come with adjustments to certain existing farms in the game, as we want to preserve progression. Alright. New bosses and insignias. As mentioned above, we slowed down with new insignia bosses. We'd still like to release them, but only when we feel that there's an appropriate cause to. Fair. Additionally, we'll continue to do world bosses this year. We know many of you felt like the drop frequency of items during the last event was too low. Definitely was. Wait, was the last boss the one that like just killed you all the time? That was so annoying. So we plan to boost these significantly for the next world boss that comes along. Additionally, some of you expressed dissatisfaction with having to use consumables to counter world boss attacks. Oh yeah, the last one was the one that just killed you all the time, yeah. This mechanic is present to provide some interactivity against the bosses while also preventing AFKing, but we may opt for zone attacks for future bosses instead. Zone attacks are going to be just as annoying as or maybe they'll be less annoying than the pots, but as they recently become a bit easier for us to implement. We'd also like to keep doing live events if time permits. We'd like to increase the frequency. I don't know, what does live events mean? When I think of live events, I think of, I don't know, like a crossover or something. I would like to increase the frequency of these so that they're held at least a few times each year. If someone could fill me in what a live event is in the comments. I feel like I know way too much about AQ Worlds, but I don't know what they're talking about when they say live events. Is that like the Yoshino stuff? Is that what they mean by that? I don't know. Anyway. All right, we get a little paragraph about classes here. Lots has been learned, and your feedback has been read. While many of you have had positive things to say about certain class content released last year, I'm trying to think. They released quite a few classes last year. Here's the ones that were released in 2024: Arcana Invoker, Sovereign of Storms, which was the boosted upgrade one we talked about, Martial Artist, and Phantom Chronomancer. Haven't tried Phantom Chronomancer, but yeah, did not like this class. This class was alright, but underwhelming. Didn't farm for this one either because the farm was ridiculous, and that was last year's classes. So yeah, I feel like there was another one. Am I mistaken? Maybe it was all the ones that they changed because they buffed a lot of classes last year. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Like, this made more of an impact on the game than the new classes, I think, last year. Of course, everyone cares more about the new classes, but I feel like all the buffs they did were way better than the actual new classes they released last year. If you want my take on that, I don't think any of the classes released last year really made much of a difference to the game overall. All right, back to the paragraph here. Some of you took to expressing your concerns with the direction the classes are going in. Going forward, the plan is to dial back on the more ambitious, in quotations, class designs and continue creating classes that are intuitive and feel good to play. Our goal is never to release something that we think will be negatively received. So if we disappoint, we're just as unhappy as you. With that in mind, we know you're looking forward to upcoming class content, so we'd like to give you a bit of a preview of what's in store. Okay, interesting. I actually haven't read through this. I saw people posting about it and asking me about it, but I knew I was going to save it for the Thursday video. I actually had more requests to talk about this than any of the other things ever, I think. I've seen a lot of people ask me what I thought about this, so let's go through it. All right, as expected, we'll be continuing to rebalance classes in 2025. As we get close to the end of the list of non-rare classes to update, we'll also focus... Okay, so I'm going to be reading into this a lot, so bear with me here. They very, very explicitly say non-rare classes. We'll also focus more on Hero Mart classes, starting with Card Clasher and Paladin Slayer. Now, I've seen people saying online that this means that they're going to re-release and start selling. You'll be able to obtain Card Clasher and Paladin Slayer because of this. I would love to believe that. I really would. I have Card Clasher. I don't have Paladin Slayer. I would like to obtain Paladin Slayer myself. Do I think these are actually going to release? I hope they are. I really do. I really do. But, well, I remind you, in 2021, Hero Mart, the official Hero Mart account, posted a teaser, very explicitly say, like, Card Clasher's coming back soon, guys. It's 2025 now. It never did come back. So there's that. Also, they list non-rare classes to update, and then they go right into the fact that the Hero Mart classes are going to be updated as if these are rare. I don't know why they're doing that. These shouldn't be rare. They can sell them anytime they want. They were never stated as rare, but they might see them as that, even though they have resold Card Clasher after the initial sale. They've reprinted Card Clasher. The Card Clasher I have it right here. See, this isn't the triangle box thing that the original one is, because this was a reprint that they only sold in Hero Mart. You couldn't buy this in Toys R Us or anything like the original ones. This is the Hero Mart version that came out, like, I don't know, 2018, 19, I don't know when these came out, but when they reprinted them back a while back. But, or maybe even like, it might have been like 20, I don't know, but years ago at this point. They have reprinted them before. Will they do that again? I don't know. It might be an in-game thing, or maybe they will actually sell these in-game. I could see that happening more realistically than them actually doing another reprint of the actual physical cards. But I have seen a lot of people saying that this basically means that the classes are coming back. I don't think that's 100%. Until we actually see them come back, even if they said they were coming back, they've said it before. So even if they did say on Twitter, like, hey guys, the classes is coming back, I wouldn't take the word for it, because they've said it before. Well, they didn't. It wasn't explicitly say they were coming back, but they've teased that it was coming back before, and it never did. So, anyway, I'd set your expectations in check for this. They should sell it again, though. I'm not trying to like gatekeep it or anything. They should sell it again. It is also weird, not to like harp on this, but it is also weird that they mention non-rare classes at all here, because almost every class in the game is not rare. Like, the only classes that exist in the game right now that are rare are the few calendar classes, and well, the calendar classes aren't rare anymore, but the versions of the calendar classes, and a couple of the Hero Mart ones like Paladin Slayer. Like, these are a couple of maybe a handful of classes that are the only rare classes in the game. So I don't think they want to leave them rare. I think they want all the classes to not be rare. So that might be a point on the side of them actually coming back. So yeah, give you a little hope. All right, we get some more information on classes and such. Berserker is going to be the next class to get a rework. Very cool. As the original low health equals more damage class, we'd like to give it an update that gives its low HP playstyle justice, especially since other classes have been introduced throughout the years that had similar functionality. That's very nice. Alongside existing class updates, we still want to release new classes every now and again. We know a lot of you want to see a HollowBorn and Good Faction themed endgame classes. So we'd like to focus on those for our next new class releases. All right, there we go. As this was getting teased recently, I actually thought this was going to be a ways away still, but it does seem like HollowBorn will be the next class up. I don't know when they're going to do this, but of course, like, all the information is on the screen right now that we have about it, but excited to see that. They do mention it is an end game class, so expect quite a bit of farm. Seeing the words HollowBorn and end game together, it's kind of they kind of mean the same thing. So what do you call that? There's a word for it. I can't think of that right now, but Yeah, that's an oxymoron, I think. An oxymoron right there. That's a big one. All right. I can only imagine how hard it is going to be to get a HollowBorn endgame class. That's going to be something. They mentioned the Hero Point version of Phantom Chrono. People have already asked about this, but this is lines up with their traditional release schedule for counter classes sometime in the summer. Anyone that's asking about any counter class any year, whenever they release a new one at the end of the year, and then come summertime, they'll release it in game. So you have to buy the physical one if you want it before the summer. So just think of counter classes as releasing in the summer. If you don't want to buy the physical version of the actual merchandise, that's basically how you think about that. Next paragraph goes over consumables. They talk about keeping them equipped between logins. That's really cool, but there are still a few bugs to track down, mainly the one that causes potions to sometimes freeze and not do anything when used. Okay, this bug in particular has proven difficult to reproduce. Yeah, this is a very common and annoying bug. So if you have any information on how to replicate it, please send a ticket. All right, Forge enhancements. Last paragraph here. We plan to continue gradual development of new enhancements, aiming to add them when we find it appropriate to. We'll also continue to keep an eye on existing enhancements and determine if any are in need of update. Ravenous is one such enhancement, as it effectively replaces Valiance, another endgame enhancement. Well, its execute effect also caused certain classes to perform exceedingly well. Oh, they're nerfing Ravenous? Ugh. That's one of the enhancements I actually wanted to get. Our intention is not for an endgame enhancements to be a replacement for another. So we're looking into potential changes for Ravenous to better differentiate it from Valiance and regulate the increased damage it provides on monsters while with missing health, without compromising its identity and performance boost on most classes. I really hate that whole paragraph. I hate seeing that. All right, they're nerfing Ravenous, it seems, in a lot of words. In a lot of words, they're nerfing Ravenous, so enjoy it while it's still good, I guess. You can thank Valiance for that. I don't know why they don't just buff Valiance, but, you know. I'd be annoyed if I farmed Ravenous, but I didn't, so maybe I'll farm Valiance instead. Probably not. I probably won't do either. Anyway, though, that's annoying. Okay, that's a really long dev post with a lot of good information for the game. HollowBorn class coming, potentially Card Clasher returning, a new good class. Lots of good stuff. What are you guys looking forward to? This is not the end of the video, though, because we still have all the weekly news to go over, so let's go over that now. It's not a crazy amount, but some new Nullgas stuff, so let's go through that. Hey, if you're watching this long, hey, click the like button on the video. Helps it out quite a bit. And comment down below what class you're looking forward to getting the most. Are you picking up Card Clasher? They're buffing Card Clasher, right? It does say that here. I don't remember if I read that or not, but they are buffing it, right? That is happening. I really hope they are. I can't wait for that. That's actually that's my favorite thing. I read that whole post, if that's actually the case. Yes, they are. It says rebalance classes. All right. And they mentioned the Hero Mart ones. All right. Cannot wait to see what they do with that. I hope they don't ruin it. I hope it's a lot better. I hope it's really good. I hope it's an endgame class. Okay, this set of items, or like not endgame, but you know, I hope Card Clasher's usable without sacrificing a whole lot of DPS like you would have to right now if you want to use it. So this set of items is available right now in game for anyone with the badge for supporting Akumi Wars, the Kickstarter that Miltonius did not too long ago, a couple years or a while back now. So you can get those items right now. These will also be available for free for everyone in game for 0 ACs. These will be, they'll be completely free. They're going to be in a merch shop or something like that later on in this month. So you'll be able to pick up all these items for free. Very cool. And for anyone looking for new stuff from Miltonius that is also coming out, he says right here that they have me working on a Fiend birthday shop set. So the 10k chests quibble would be my guess for birthday shop. I'll see what I can come up with. So he will be doing a new set. This set was posted a long time ago, so we've seen this before. It just didn't release for whatever reason. I think it was supposed to and then didn't. But there will be a new one as well. So very nice. Can't wait to see that. Okay, art from Crulon here for 100,000 ACs, I think, or is it the 200? Yeah, one of the higher reward tiers for the gifting event. So yeah, looks like a lot of time and effort was put into this. A crazy amount. The leg looks pretty similar to a recent armor we actually had in the game, if I'm gonna be honest. But other than that, yeah, it looks all right. I don't know. I mean, would I spend 100,000 ACs on this or whatever the price tag is on it? It's an absurd price tag. No, but is it decent for what it is? Sure, it definitely is. Yeah, can't really see any complaints, and it seems like the replies here think it's pretty good. Like even that priest guy, that's always not always, but overall 99% of the time pretty negative about stuff. Even he says it's good. Getting a "it's good" from that guy on Twitter is something. So there you go. So yeah, it's not too bad. I saw Crulon tweet that he got a lot of negative opinions on the 100k tier already, but I'm not seeing that. So this was posted on the 6th, and he posted that he got a lot of negative opinions on the 9th. Did they get deleted or something? Because I see some people asking for a human version of it, which I wouldn't call that a negative opinion, but it's more just like, hey, it'd be cool if there's a human version. People are asking for full CC, which is normal. Every armor, people ask for that. That's if you're an AE artist, you probably get asked that on every armor you post. It's very normal. One guy said lame. Other than that, there might be some on the offensive thing. I'm not clicking that when I'm recording, but yeah, so there could be a couple, but it seems like majority of these guys say it looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm not really seeing that. But that's typical for anything online, right? You see a couple bad opinions, and it doesn't matter if 99% of people say it's good. Those couple that are bad are gonna stick with you more for some reason. I think in the past we've definitely had worse high tier, like expensive gifting event sets. There's definitely been worse. I'll say that if you want my opinion on that. A lot worse. Dominik with some new art for a new purple outfit. Did someone ask if this was going to be color custom? Yes, they did, and he said maybe, I think, was the reply to that. I don't think I have it pulled up here, but yeah, so this is the male variant. Don't have a female look here, but yeah, so it looks like it's gonna look alright. Yeah, so as for a CC version, of course. So yeah, very purple, and I think it's some birthday gears, so it being purple makes sense if it's for his birthday. So yeah, nice. We got a new set from Alvaro. Yeah, so this is based on Devil May Cry from the GIF here and stuff like that. I didn't immediately put that together because I haven't played the Devil May Cry games, but a lot of good designs in those games, a lot of good character designs. So yeah, very much that. I don't know if the guy in Devil May Cry is wearing sandals. I'm going to assume he isn't, because that's weird, and it looks weird here, especially with 2D AQ Worlds characters. It looks very off. I just, the sandal just absolutely ruins this armor for me. But hey, some people might like it, and maybe it'll look good on the female version. But I think it's like a cultural thing, because we saw that with the biker outfit, right? That was part of the upgrade pack. It's not in game yet, not the upgrade pack, but the AC donation event. The motorcycle guy also wearing sandals for some reason, which is insane on a motorcycle that you'd be wearing sandals. But anyway, I think it's like a cultural difference. I used to ride a dirt bike, and I had boots that I wore with that, and there was like one side of one of the boots was just almost like completely like missing, because you're on a motorcycle. If that was my leg, I might be missing part of a leg at this point. Anyway, wear protection when you're riding a motorcycle. Jesus. At last, but not least, so this one from Azeph is a stone, kind of like earthy looking, like druid type null gas set. So yeah, it doesn't look all too bad. The hilt looks way too thin to hold up the sword, I'll say that. Like, it looks like a little twig holding up a big stone. But you know, the armor itself and everything looks pretty alright, and I think the leaf is kind of funny. This was teased last week from Fero, but we get the final look at it. More toes. All right. So yeah, it's straw. Stravian amalgamation or something. Okay, so male version's not worked on at all. This might be releasing the game at some point. A lot of work went into this, so I imagine it will be. Darken seems to like it too, so yeah, we'll see. But there's the finished variant of that. Dino posted up a slug fit monster turned into an Olgath armor, which is sick. I love when the artists do this. Happens sometimes, and it's always cool to see them take the monsters and turn them into armors. I always like that theme, so yeah, it looks really cool. Lay with this design, this is actually, I almost guarantee, inspired by Fortnite. Lay's been playing a lot of Fortnite if you follow him on Twitter, so this will be one of the first and few items inspired by Fortnite in AQ Worlds, so that's interesting. There's a boss in the Fortnite map that looks exactly like this right now, and you can see the guy from Fortnite. All right, so that's interesting. I mean, it's definitely different. It's not one-to-one or anything, so no issues there. This is really cool. I don't know why this isn't the actual item. So this one's going to be coming to the game, added this month. This one says aren't planned, but look at this. This looks way cooler. This looks sick actually. It's like the full hood poncho thing with the Makai hood. It looks so cool. I don't know why they're not doing that. I could do without the feet maybe, but it's such a cool design. Yeah, I really like that. I wish that one was the one coming out. But anyway, yeah. Z as well, posting up some Miltonius themed Nolgath art. Lovely. Very work in progress. Some really cool sets from Moira here. They don't have any art in game or anything, so it's very much kind of like a fan art thing. But yo, that hairstyle, what? Looks so good. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of stuff here. It looks really nice. Love the face design they did. That looks so cool in game. On the guy, well, on both actually. Those look really good, like the eyes and everything. The eye design is actually insane. Like the whole outfits look really good. Yeah, they say that their dream is to one day be a guest artist. Alina should get in contact. That's some good outfits there. If you ever want to know how many pets are in AQ Worlds, Yoshino posted. It's close to 3,500 pets. Yeah, 4,000 for potential duplicates. That is insane. There's 3,500 pets. That's a lot. That's a lot of pets. So, all right. Have you fed your pets in AQ Worlds recently? All 3,500 of them? Okay, that's all for the news this week. New classes, lots of art, lots of stuff to talk about. Let me know what your favorite thing this week was in the comments. Love to read those. And a big thanks to Stargirl for making this art. Very cool. Thought I'd include it here in the video. It is art, and it is AQ Worlds related. So, yeah, she asked me on stream if for a set to make a Valentine's Day thing just out of the blue. So I made this set on stream, and she drew it into this art piece. So yeah, it looks really nice. Very much appreciate that. It's the same pose that Bali has in Battlelon. So yeah, very nice. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel, all that junk. Big thanks to the channel members, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I will be streaming the new update tomorrow. We don't know what it is, but I will be streaming it. The calendar hasn't updated yet. Bye-bye.